Good morning, guys. It is Thursday. It is the day before an event that I am so happy and proud to have the opportunity to be a sponsor of. One thing I absolutely love the most about being self-employed and about having the support of my community, which means constant supply of homes to sell and buy, which means a constant supply of income. I'm telling you, I am blessed beyond anything I ever could have imagined. When I got into real estate in May of 2019, and that first year in real estate, I netted negative $2,000 and didn't have any idea if people would trust me because I was in education for 20 and a half years, right? So my thought was, who in the world is going to hire a former teacher to sell their house or help them buy their house? And what actually happened was the first couple of homes that I listed in my area, I sold them for way more. I'm talking considerably tens of thousands of dollars more than the sellers were ever going to list them for themselves, because they just didn't understand the market. They didn't understand how much their home was worth and the market value and all the things that go into it. And so it took me just a couple of sales, a couple of listings to prove my value and to prove to people that even with the commission, now remember, you don't pay commission up front, but even with the commission that is taken off the proceeds of the sale at closing, that they were still going to net tens of thousands of dollars more on the sale of their home, with the advantage of not having to deal with anything except basically getting it ready to sell. Not having to deal with negotiations, with all the paperwork, with all the legalities that go into it, with the safety feature that comes when you put a for sale sign in your front yard and strangers, literally strangers, just show up at your house any given minute of the day. As opposed to when you put a real estate sign in your front yard, people know that they must call the number on the sign and schedule an appointment, and those people are screened before they ever step foot in your property, all right? Which leads me to the point of, because I have been so supported by my community, I believe in giving back. And I am never, ever going to forget how rough it was in the public school system. Listen, I loved it until I got to the school board office and I was a supervisor, but when I was a teacher in the schools, and when I was an administrator in the schools, I loved it. I lived and breathed education, and I really never thought I'd do anything besides education. And then when I got to the school board office, and I just quickly realized I was not an office person. I didn't like the politics of it all. I didn't like people keeping me under their thumb, so to speak. And I remember thinking, at 15 years, I can do this to 20. I can do anything for 5 years, and at 20 years, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge, and I'm going to figure out something else to do. And that's exactly what I did. So in February of 2019, I signed up for real estate school, went through all the trainings, listed my first house in May of 2019, and the rest has been history. But the amazing thing has been that the community has just embraced me and supported me and loved me and encouraged me and all the things. And I will never, ever forget how tough it is to be in education. It is the toughest job. It's undervalued, they're underpaid, they're underappreciated. Educators are the backbone of our society. And if y'all don't know this, Louisiana is ranked 49th out of 50 states in education. That's a sad reality. And somebody posted something yesterday that hit the news that showed that the salary for Louisiana teachers is also at the bottom of the bucket. So guys, if you are thinking about the future and thinking about your children that are going to be in the system and your grandchildren that are going to be in the system and neighbors and friends and all the people, it's a sad reality. Because if our teachers aren't paid well and if they're not supported, everything hinges on education. Are we raising just a impoverished society that's just not going to be educated? That's a sad reality. So what can I do? What can you do as a community member? You can support your educators knowing that they have a very, very difficult job, and be one of those people who is not criticizing them, but who is lifting them up, supporting them, and doing all the things, right? And so this Friday, which is tomorrow, our community of Iota is embracing our schools, Iota High School and all the feeder schools that feed to Iota High School, which is Evangeline, Egan, Iota, and St. Francis, our private school. And we are throwing them a party like you have never seen. And it's going to be for those educators in those schools. It's going to be for everyone, the administrators, the teachers, the bus drivers, the cafeteria workers, the janitors, anyone affiliated with Iota High School and all the feeder schools that fill to it. And we are going to celebrate them from after school all the way till 9 o'clock at night. And so they're going to have everything catered. We're going to have all the food and the sweets that you can possibly imagine. We're going to have a DJ, we're going to have karaoke, we're going to have dancing, we're going to have a photo booth, we're going to have door prizes out the wazoo. I'm telling you, I think we probably have enough door prizes probably for every single person that shows up, and I'm expecting 100% attendance. So, if you are a community member anywhere in Acadia Parish and you want to support the Iota High School schools and all the schools that feed to it, this is what you can do. You can drop off donations at the Iota Banquet Hall. People will be there today probably from noon till probably about 4, and then tomorrow from probably about 11 until the event starts right after school. And this is what we need. Anything that's $50 or more, a gift card, it can be a Visa gift card, it can be a MasterCard gift card, it can be a gift card to our local businesses that have supported this event, like J&W, Sassafras, Coleman's, Buku Blends, Snack Shack, Garber Farms, Jared Fry's Farm. Listen, if you go look on Facebook, we have literally hundreds of sponsors. Pretty much everybody in our community, the Iota Miller, the pharmacy, literally everyone that has a business in Iota. When we asked them if they would support us, they said yes, wholeheartedly. But if you want to know exactly who those sponsors are, go look earlier. A couple of days ago, I posted it on my page, and I also posted it on the Iota page. You can see the list of all the sponsors. So what I would say is support those people. Absolutely support those people. Buy gift cards to those businesses, and we're going to give those out to teachers and all the other educators and the bus drivers and everybody affiliated with Iota High School and all the schools that feed to it tomorrow afternoon. So, if you are a business owner and for some reason we didn't call you, for some reason you have not seen the posts, please get in touch with us, because we'd love to have you as a sponsor, and we'd love to get a donation from you if you'd love to give one, because we cannot have enough door prizes. Again, I'd love for everybody to have at least one, so that'll be an amazing thing. So anyway, listen, I challenge you, if you are a business owner, if you are a realtor, if you are anyone that can be influential in your community, support your schools. Because if you do not support your schools, inevitably what's going to happen is your community is going to go to hell. Because your community is the schools, the public schools, the private schools. The education system in a community is what is the absolute backbone of a community. And it can be a negative thing or it can be a positive thing. And so for us in our community, we are so thankful that we have A schools in our community. Our high school's an A school, our elementary schools are A and B schools, and we are so absolutely blessed to be in the community that we are in. I always tell people, my boys, I worked at Egan Elementary when they were growing up, and that's actually where I went to school too. They went to Egan Elementary, a public school from pre-K through 8, and they both made the 34 to 33 on the ACT. They both went on full rides to college. One went to McNeese, one's going to LSU in the fall. Full paid for rides because of the foundation and the education that they got from the schools that they attended, and that was Egan Elementary and Iota High School. And listen, I owe those people the world, the absolute world. And they are products of that, and I am forever grateful, forever thankful. But if we do not put a huge priority on those people and embrace those people, guys, why would you stay in a position for no money when people are bashing you on social media all the time, when you can never please everyone, when it's just easier to gripe and bitch and moan, right? So I say, instead of griping about the things that are going on in the schools, show up and say, what can we do to help? What can we do to make this a better situation? What can we do to make it an environment where our kids want to go, right? It's up to us, and it's so easy to just gripe about it. It's so easy. But guess what? If you have never walked a mile in those shoes, you have no idea. You really have no idea. So I encourage you to volunteer, to sign up to sub, to offer assistance to those teachers and those educators that need it and that want it and that will absolutely value and treasure it. You know, I said back in February, I got in touch with all of the schools just because I wanted to do something good. And I said, listen, I want to have sponsors volunteer to help me pay for food for all day for the teachers and the educators in the Teachers Lounge for February for Valentine's Day. So I hired the cake bar to do a grazing table in those lounges. And when I called St. Francis School, I said to them that we were going to do that. I thought, because it's a private school, my God, they probably are they are probably spoiled to death. They probably get things all the time. They probably aren't even going to really need this or appreciate this because they probably get things all the time. And that school was so thankful. They were as thankful as the public schools and said, oh my God, thank you so much. We do not feel like we are spoiled and appreciated on a regular basis. And so it's so important. I'm beating a dead horse. I know I am. But only because I was a teacher before and I felt underappreciated and undervalued. And listen, that was 20 years ago. So I can only imagine with our lives as busy as we are. But when I was a teacher, there was no such thing as social media. Listen, when I was a teacher, if there was social media, I would have been on it all the time. I mean, I was strict. I was tough. I gave homework. I expected the kids to behave, and I had such high expectations of those kids. I can only imagine what parents would have said about me on social media. I shudder to think, right? So get out there and support those schools, support those teachers. I know Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up. In fact, I think it's next week. Really, really, really think about what you can do to help those schools and help those teachers. Because listen, this is the thing. When people feel valued, when people feel appreciated, when people feel like they matter, they will go to the ends of the earth for you and for your children. But when they are feeling defeated and exhausted and undervalued and underprivileged, guess what? That attitude is going to trickle down to those kids. It absolutely will. So you are one person, but you have the power to make another person feel amazing and feel special and feel needed and feel valued and all the things, right? You do. We all do. Y'all have a great day. And the title of the video actually is Red Solo Cups, because one of the things we also are going to have at our bash, of course, is alcohol. And we are going to have plenty of designated drivers, plenty of people that are going to be there volunteering to drive people home after an amazing celebration. So we are planning an amazing event, and that's tomorrow for all our schools that lead Toyota High. And it's going to be a great way for them to end a very, very, very stressful last couple of years. Probably last couple of 20 years has been freaking stressful, right? Y'all take care. Y'all have a great day. And again, as always, if you ever need anything real estate related, buying or selling, I'd love to have a conversation with you. There are no stupid questions ever, 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 ever. Believe me, when I got into real estate, there were lots of things that I thought. One of those things was that you had to have 20% down to buy a house. Absolute biggest misconception around. You do not. You can buy a house with no money. You absolutely can. Y'all have a great day. Take care.